Every day we get out of our warm, cozy beds that are in our cool, air-conditioned room. Then we get our shoes on and trot over to the cement sidewalks and sit in our cars that zoom off to our jobs, where we sit some more and do our work before we go home the same way. Then the next day we do it all again. This process has not only disconnected us from the world we inhabit, but it has also ruined it. The only notice the outdoors get during these dreaded monotonous days is the weather. If it is too hot or too cold, you are sure to hear about it from your coworker or friend. The neglect of the earth by society motivated many people to change the way they lived. This particular group of people, namely backpackers, wanted to break away from the everyday grind and become closer to the thing that has remained constant in their life. Accomplished hiker and outdoorsman Guy Waterman states, "Backpackers are deliberately leaving the easy life to go where they will get rained on, eaten by bugs, and exhausted by the physical effort of getting themselves and their backpacks there and back." Although this process is seemingly unpleasant, it reunites man with Mother Nature. Getting away from the industrialized society, even if only for a few days, has proved to be refreshing and even necessary. Waterman goes on to say, whatever the specifics of their motives, they are obviously seekers of challenge and difficulty. Perhaps the most agreeable point Waterman makes is this. The backpacker wants to feel the thin, cold air, to hear the pure whistle of the white-throated sparrow, to see the delicate lacework of green moss on a boulder, and to sense the solitude of remote places. This proclamation defines why everyone backpacks in the first place. However, for me, hiking also symbolized the chance to prove to myself that I was not dependent on modern-day technologies to survive. It was because of this mental challenge that I decided to try my hand at backpacking on one of the most demanding trails in America, the Continental Divide Trail in Montana. At the age of 15, I got on a plane by myself and flew to Montana to go backpacking with an organization called the National Outdoor Leadership School, also called NOLS. NOLS is a nonprofit educational institution that takes people on remote wilderness expeditions, teaching the technical outdoor skills, leadership, and environmental ethics in some of the world's wildest and most awe-inspiring classrooms. This was my chance to prove to myself that I could handle something extremely difficult and not be dependent on any modern-day technologies. The day I arrived in Montana, I met 15 strangers that were all in a situation similar to me. We had no idea what was in store for us for the next 2 weeks. We started hiking the next day on the Continental Divide Trail. After our acclimation, we split into 3 smaller groups of 5. Each day, one person in each group was responsible for leading the others. Of course, with my luck, I was chosen to lead on the day when we hiked the longest. Everything was going perfectly fine until we arrived at what we thought was the destination for the evening. We waited for the other group until nightfall came and we were all alone. It was then that we realized we were going to spend the night alone, and all we had to eat for dinner were cashews and peanut butter. I felt incredibly depressed for losing my group in the woods and having to eat such a poor meal. Naturally, I felt obligated to fix the problem. I ended up having to wake up early the next morning to scout out possible locations for where the others were. I desperately climbed hill over hill and through creeks looking for the other groups. Finally, I sat down exhausted. While sitting down contemplating what to do, I heard a noise to my left. I glanced up to see the other group walking towards me. The sight of the other group approaching me was so relieving because of the amount of stress I was under while I was lost. As soon as I realized my group and I were lost, I went into survival mode. I knew I needed food and water first, yet I was no expert. To make matters worse, I knew that it would be impossible to know if I was close to their campsite from the previous night, because with NOLS, we practice leave no trace techniques. Leave No Trace is an organization that promotes camping in the backcountry with little to no impact on the environment in which you camped. The organization states that backpackers should keep campsites small, focus activity where vegetation is absent, and disperse use to prevent the creation of campsites. It would be nearly impossible to notice where they had chosen to stay the night before. I was also incredibly scared of the wildlife I could run into on the trail. Many experts have expounded on the different predators that live in the region, but experienced backpacker Perry Rosenblum has named the most dangerous animals inhabiting Montana to be wolves, grizzly bears, and mountain lions. The most frightening thing was that I was all alone. Rosenblum announces, "If you choose to hike alone, which I highly discourage, stay alert." I began to clap my hands and scream, to make sure the predators knew I was coming. At first, backpacking symbolized my independence from modern-day technologies. However, as soon as I got into the backcountry, I realized that was not going to work. As I was all alone looking for the other groups, I was scared. I realized what it means to truly risk your life trying to survive. There's a newfound respect in my mind for backpackers across the world.